Hi, this is Brandon with Precision Defensive Solutions.
Hi, my name is Chris Griese. I'm with the Practical Guardian.
And we are sitting in Chris's hometown, well, kind of my hometown too, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
Hail from it.
Yep. So we're in Lafayette, Indiana. Just got done with dinner and talking a little bit. And we thought we'd do a video and talk a little bit about taking concepts and, you know, things that we learn and kind of molding it and making it our own. We've kind of talked a little bit about this. We talked about it in the cohort together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes people will say, well, this is the only way to do things.
So, and we were definitely talking about this.
Yeah.
Again, I got to give credit where credit is due. So this is definitely a Jediism. It's Scott Jedelinsky. But he really set the tone for me. I thought this was fun and really appropriate. He said, if you've got an instructor in front of you and he's teaching the way, and he's not a Mandalorian, he's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole point is, on the vast majority of things, it's a way to do things, not the way, as we were mentioning. Right. And I think to specifically what we were talking about, what we wanted to make a video about, combining that with the idea that very few times do we come across something that's absolutely brand new. We just have to give it a different context that might be appropriate to what we're doing. Does that sound?
Yeah, I think context is highly missed a lot of times.
Yeah. Yep. And I think we can struggle with that. And the problem is, I think that affects students. It affects the people coming to us to learn. If we try and hammer that round peg into the square hole of where we got it, instead of shaving off different things to make things fit, i.e. giving it the context that it needs and applying it appropriately. I'm a big, like you said, sampling from a lot of different things, understanding, and I'm not trying to rebuild the wheel there, but one of senior instructors that I trained under had the saying that teaching is a lot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're teaching about camera equipment, if you're teaching about sound, you have a background there. If we're teaching about firearms, doesn't matter. But that a lot of teaching, a lot of learning and instructorship is R&D. The good part of that is R&D. And by R&D, of course, we mean rip off and duplicate.
Yep. Absolutely.
So the reality is, but it's true. I mean, we get a laugh out of it, but it's true.
Yep.
And obviously you want to give credit where credit is due on those type of things.
Sure.
But yeah, we're not grabbing anything new under the sun. We're just tweaking it to be appropriate. And I think for those of you who might be also instructing, looking to learn to instruct, or honestly, that's not even your bent. You just care about people and the wife, the kid, the whatever. Remember, what I think part of what we're trying to get at as we make this video is the situation that make it appropriate for the person that's in front of you.
Right.
I mean, we talk about that so if we're going to talk about a grip on a firearm and what firearm works for you and things like that, you know, that SIG P229 that's got that nice big old honker. You know,
not going to happen with my hands.
So there's a great example. Yeah, yep. It's goofy for me to assume the same context for everybody and be like, well, this is how we need to do this.
Yeah.
It's an obvious thing. Remember that with the people in front of you. Don't go all tactical Timmy and super operator tier 1 dude if you're talking to your 12-year-old.
Right.
It's just out of place.
Right. Well, it's like, so we had a guy in your class last night.
Yeah.
Who, honestly, he should have shared it with you at the beginning of class, but he had an injured shoulder.
Yep.
And didn't find that out until we were on the range, and you know, I'm working on him trying to get those shoulders down, and you talked about, you know, not hunching those shoulders
right.
up.
Yep. No tactical turtle.
And he's like, well, it hurts. Well, injured shoulder and you're doing this, yeah,
sure.
It's going to hurt.
And again, to not to say to his credit, but to the point of things, that was probably something, a learning experience on mine that I can do better of making the situation a little bit more open, or, hey, if you have something that's going to be an ailment, you know what I mean? So there's a takeaway for me too. It's not always just the way you do things. You don't go by your script all the time. As we've learned through cohort and through time together, student focus is much more than just a saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Student focus is really trying to be keyed in on those people in front of you, because life matters. Not going to get off into a political discussion, but life matters, and we all have unique value. And a part of the way that we can show that when we're teaching is that individual person in front of us matters.
Yeah.
As a student, they absolutely matter. So
yeah, absolutely. And there's so many people, like you said, taking their wife, taking their kids out, and we've heard it in our classes, where women will say, I'm so glad, you're working with me and he's not, because he's always yelling at me. Or that, and it may not be that case, but it's the way their perception is.
Yeah. So
and if it's that perception, then it is.
There's that reason that Adam Winch, I'm just going to be quoting everybody. Apparently I have nothing unique to me, but Adam Winch, our good friend Adam Winch, I believe it was he who first said, when you're on a line with somebody that you care about, to this exact same point that you made about they just do it differently. He'll say sometimes okay, so we're on a line, you've got a couple waves. Now, go pair up with somebody that you're not legally obligated to love.
Yep.
And it's funny, but again, there's a truth behind that, because we hear easily, much more easily, we take it when we don't have the background of mileage with this person.
Sure.
We don't have the history. I'm probably not that super great teacher to all these people. Sometimes I am. I got to toot my own horn. Sometimes I'm okay. He's like, what? But sometimes he's okay. I'm okay. But the reality is, I might seem really good to them because they don't know me. I'm a blank canvas for them, and they don't have the background of whatever's going on. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Remember that audience, build that context around and contextual understanding of what we have going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't let Chris fool you. He's a lot better than he gives himself credit for. But
thank you, appreciate that.
Yeah, but it is. And so when we look at that, now if we look at the training aspect of it, so those of us that now go to a class,
sure,
and we get those people that say, all right, here's what I've got, whether they say this is the way and the only way,
yep,
or they are, here is a way, how do we take that and then mold it to ourselves? And so everybody's body size different, hand size different, back issues, shoulder issues, neck issues, whatever.
Sure.
How do we make that work for us? So that was a good example last night. Me trying to show that pinky pressure on that grip.
Yeah.
And completely epic fail when I let my pinkies go, and it still didn't move the gun very much.
So you're trying to show us what not to do, right? We're salvaging. It's all good.
It's kind of one of those things, though.
Yeah.
If you build that technique, sometimes you don't need all those little things, but they definitely help.
Oh, absolutely.
So finding a way that works for you with different concepts, I think is a really strong way to improve yourself. And then if you pass that on to others, then they can find their way to improve themselves. Because like you said, it's not reinventing the wheel.
And recognize you're not other people.
Right.
I mean, and that sounds pretty obvious, like Tim Herron. I'm a little bit different body size and everything else going on than Tim Herron, right? But recognize that I'm not, at the moment, Tim. I don't have the background. I'm not to that level yet. So trying to do exactly what he does doesn't mean I fail, doesn't mean I give up, doesn't mean I can't do that. Allow yourself the grace to say, I need to work on one or two things that was presented to me in my context right now. The shoulder injury is a great example. If I can't do something, it doesn't help me to work as if I want to aspire to be that person in this specific way. Be yourself with the concept that was taught to you.
Right.
Technique can be a problem. So, sorry, I'm sort of skirting off around here. I promise this will come back. Don't get wrapped up on the technique. Let yourself get immersed into the principle. Don't get wrapped up on the technique, the individual, the minutiae. I think that's where we get into dogma. Don't let what somebody is giving you, a lot of people that can give you a lot of great information. Don't take that and you have to do it exactly in the way that they presented. Understand, and usually the great teachers will help you understand the principle behind what they're showing you.
Right.
That's where we want to modify it to exactly us or our individual students.
Yep.
And we're around a lot of great people that help us do that. The whole ASP crew, Neil, John, Stephanie, Sam, all those people in the Dry Fire Challenge. If you're not part of that group, you guys need to really look it up. Active Self Protection Extra. You need to check out that channel. No shameless plugs here, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah. So they're not just hearing it from us.
Oh no. Yeah. And then the ASP Dry Fire group, man, check that out. It's helpful. It's wonderful, and it's a community. It's not a judging place.
Right.
It's a place to help everybody get better. But those situations, in those contexts, there's a lot of great ways to say, here's an idea. Now take it, work it for you, make it your own. Show us how it's helping you. be excited about how it's working together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that said, get out there, do some work, take some of these concepts, get on that dry fire page, learn some of the things that are out there. Chris and I are both there. You know, if you got questions, reach out to me. I'm sure you can reach out to you.
Yeah, thepracticalguardian@gmail.com. If you, I'd be happy to talk to anybody. We're not talking about taking classes or something. You don't have to. I mean, I'm happy if you want to come and investigate me, but I am happy to talk to anybody who just, I need a line, I need some understanding. That's what I enjoy. So.
Yep, absolutely. And that's why we're here. I mean, that's why we do what we do is to help others. So,
yep.
You know, if you got questions, reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Radio Shack. If you have questions, I have answers. So
There
for
you
all
go.
those youngins, you don't know what that store is, but anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. Radio Shack. But so with that said, take care, everybody. Be safe. We'll see you soon.